Good morning and welcome. I am Stevie Lawrence II, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to this opening convocation today. Today we set our sights on individual and collective success for the 2024-2025 academic year. Opening Convocation is an annual tradition of Lincoln University and is one of our formal ceremonies. Out of respect for the occasion, please take a moment and silence all electronic devices. Please remain standing for the posting of the colors by the Lincoln University Blue Tiger Battalion, followed by the playing of the national anthem by the Lincoln University Band under the direction of Mr. Eugene Diggs II, and please remain standing for the singing of the first verse of Lift Every Voice and Sing by the Lincoln University Choir under the leadership of Miss Michelle Gamlin Green.
Forward, march.
Thank you. You may be seated. We will now hear greetings from our university and student leadership, beginning with Mr. Victor Pasley, President of the Lincoln University Board of Curators. Curator Pasley.
Thank you, Dr. Lawrence. Good morning. As stated, I'm Victor Pasley, a 1968 graduate of this great institution, and I serve as the President of the Board of Curators. As we gather here today in the beginning weeks of this academic year, I'm reminded of the enduring promise these coming days hold. Each year brings with it a sense of renewal and an opportunity. Regardless of where you are in your collegiate journey, this moment and this new beginning is pivotal. This is a time to set or reset goals, pursue lifelong or new dreams, celebrate victories, or embrace challenges. Reflecting on our history, Lincoln University has long been a beacon of resilience and progress. Founded in 1866 to educate free slaves in a time of great adversity and preserving through challenges of ever-changing times, this university continues to thrive because of the diverse, supportive community it fosters. Today, I encourage you to draw on the strength from our legacy, which is built on a firm foundation of the shoulders of those who have come before you and even myself. The founding of Lincoln University seemed almost improbable, except to those who truly believed. And that infectious passion 158 years ago should serve as a motivation in times when obstacles seem almost insurmountable. Know that with Lincoln University beside you and behind you, there is no limit to what you can achieve. It may not seem obvious to you immediately, but soon after graduation from this historic and awesome institution, you'll realize that Lincoln has been a gift to you. I started out as a school teacher, then a junior high principal, and shortly thereafter, I joined corporate America. Harvard graduates and other Ivy Leagues reporting to me. I was amazed at how prepared I was to take on significant responsibilities at the corporate level, thanks to the Lincoln's great preparation. Embrace the semester and year ahead with confidence and determination. My wish for you is that this academic year be a time of growth, discovery, and personal triumph for each of you. Thank you and best wishes for a successful year.
Well, good morning. For those I haven't met yet, I'm Dr. John Mosley, proudly serving as the 21st president of Lincoln University. Welcome to the start of a new school year. Every fall, we bask in these first days as weeks and time filled with so much promise. Today, we come together as a university to celebrate our annual tradition of opening Convocation, recognizing the beginning of another chapter in our story. This year, we carry forward the spirit of our recent Faculty and Staff Institute, where we focused on the theme of building excellence. As we move into the academic year, we evolve that theme to building on excellence. We are not just continuing our work, we are enhancing it. We are taking the successes of the past and using them as a foundation to achieve more. This is not just a theme for the year, it's a commitment to action that we will strive to be better every day. I'm extremely proud to say that we have so much to build upon. In an era where enrollment is dropping at many institutions, We at Lincoln University are experiencing over an 8% increase in full-time undergraduate enrollment. Over a 40% increase in full-time graduate enrollment, and nearly a 10% increase in total full-time enrollment. This is no small feat. Additionally, since the 2021-22 academic year, we have seen a steady rise in the average GPA of our undergraduate students, moving from a 2.88 to an average GPA of an undergraduate full-time student to 2.96, and currently standing at a 2.95. More impressively, our first-year freshman cohort of 2023, and I'm not going to ask you to raise your hand, but if you were a first-time full-time freshman in 2023, today I am proud to say that we are on pace to have our highest retention rate of a first-time freshman cohort in 27 years because of the work that you all have done. These numbers reflect more than just academic achievement. They represent our students' resilience, the dedication of our faculty and our staff, and the effectiveness of the support system that we've put in place. It's worth noting that these gains were achieved even before the introduction of the enhanced programming in our university college. With these new resources, I have no doubt that we will continue to see these upward trends develop. We're building on excellence by fostering an environment where everyone has the opportunity to succeed. This year, let us commit ourselves to strengthening our support for one another and continuing to stretch the limits of what we can achieve together. I'm excited about the year ahead, and I am confident in our ability to build upon the excellence that already defines Lincoln University. Let's work collectively to turn dreams into goals and goals into achievements. It takes all of us, but I know that we can do it. So thank you, and here's to a fantastic school year. Thank you.
Greetings. I am Jesse Canamore, and I am honored to serve as your 22nd Mr. Lincoln University of Missouri. Throughout this school year and beyond, I encourage you to be the storm. It is an acronym that stands for Surviving the Odds, Reality Made. We hope that all your days will be good, but honestly, we all know that that is not true reality. So as classes begin to get tough, the walk up and down these hills get hard, and maybe being an adult isn't exactly what you thought it would be. Remember that you can and will weather through the storm. That's what Blue Tigers do. If you look around, you'll see that your fellow classmates, your fellow Blue Tigers, will stand in the rain with you and for you until the sun shines again. And so for that, I claim that this year will be not only a good year, but an amazing year. Thank you for allowing me to represent you as your 22nd Mr. Lincoln University of Missouri.
Greetings. I am Yesnia Austin Dixon, and I am humbled and absolutely honored to be your 100th Miss Lincoln University of Missouri. I stand on the shoulders of the 99 queens who have worn this crown before me, and the thousands of alumni who have studied here at Lincoln University, and I owe it to all of them and to you to give the 2024-2025 academic school year the best I can so we can continue on the excellence President Mosley was speaking of. As my king said, some days won't be easy, but if excellence were easy, everyone could achieve it. We choose Lincoln University to get us to where we want to go, and we owe it to ourselves and our university to put in the hard work toward our individual success and that of our friends, peers, and fellow Blue Tigers. Thank you, and I hope that your school year is everything that you dreamed of and more.
Thank you, Curator Pasley and President Mosley. Please give them a round of applause. Also, thank you to Mr. Canamore and Ms. Dixon for your inspiring words. Next, Ms. Jillian Patton, President of the Student Government Association, will offer more inspiration before she leads us in reciting the university oath. President Patton.
Good morning, my Blue Tiger family. And thank you, Dr. Lawrence, Curator Paisley, President Mosley, Mr. Lincoln, and Miss Lincoln for your words so far this morning. I am Jillian Louise Patton, most humbly serving as your 90th Student Government Association President. Today, it is my responsibility to bring you the student charge. A charge is something like a challenge, something that stays with you and affects you going forward. I think the best challenge I can offer to you for this academic year is to embody the oath. We'll recite it together in just a minute, but I want us to take a look at it by paraphrasing it piece by piece, so we can commit it to memory and put it into action. First, it is on us to never disgrace our university. Our actions, seen and unseen, reflect not just on us, but on the entire Blue Tiger community. We have to stand firm in protecting our own reputation and that of Lincoln, even when it's hard. We will fight for the ideals and sacred things of the university. Those of us who are students in the 2024-2025 academic year are the custodians of the rich history and the change agents for a bright future. We believe in observing occasions like this, opening Convocation, with reverence and establishing our own traditions as we find more moments to celebrate. And finally, it is our responsibility to leave our university better than we found it. Consider it a privilege that we, the student body of 2024-2025, get to leave a mark in a history that already stretches across 158 years. So now, as we prepare to make our impact and build on our excellence, please stand and proudly repeat after me our university oath. We will never bring disgrace to Lincoln University by any act of cowardice or dishonesty. We will fight for the ideals and sacred things of the university. We will transmit our university to those who come after us. Greater, better, and more beautiful than it was transmitted to us. Greater, better, and more beautiful than it was transmitted to us. Thank you.
Thank you, President Patton. That was a very fitting student charge and should serve as great motivation for all of us who took witness to it. At this time, the university choir will showcase their talents by rendering a selection under the leadership of Professor Michelle Gamblin Green. Please enjoy. Let's give them another round of applause. Thank you again, Ms. Gamblin Green and the Lincoln University Choir. Ms. Anaya Jones, Chair of the Campus Activity Board, will introduce you to our speaker this morning, after which we will hear the convocation address. Ms. Jones.
Good morning. My name is Anaya Jones. I currently serve as your 2024-2025 Campus Activity Board Chair. Today I have the honor to welcome back one of Lincoln University's very own Darren Smith. A native of Kansas City, Mr. Smith began his Lincoln journey the fall of 1996 after graduating from Kansas City Central. His time here was marked by a deep commitment to leadership and service, which began with his election as freshman class president. In this role, Mr. Smith demonstrated remarkable initiative by spearheading a voter registration drive that brought high-profile Missouri state officials, including the governor, treasurer, and secretary to state, to campus to register students for the presidential elections. Mr. Smith's influence extended beyond student government. As a sophomore, he was appointed by the governor to serve as a student representative on the Board of Curators, where he made significant contributions over a 2-year term. One of his notable achievements was advocating for a change in the student activity fee structure, transforming it from a flat $10 fee to a per credit hour model, significantly increasing funding for student activities, a benefit students continue to enjoy today. Additionally, Mr. Smith played a key role in the development of the honors dorms and the revival of both the football team and the marching band of Lincoln University. Mr. Smith's impact wasn't limited to our campus. In the summer of 1999, he was the first Lincoln student selected for a prestigious fellowship at the White House, where he worked directly under then-President Bill Clinton. After graduating, Mr. Smith continued his dedication to Lincoln by serving as the university photojournalist and assisting the athletic department with broadcasting duties. Today, Mr. Smith is a well-respected and on-air talent and sports director at Fox Sports Radio in Kansas City, where he covers major teams and events, including the Kansas City Chiefs, Royals, Sporting KC, and the University of Kansas. His impressive career in sports journalism has seen him cover multiple Super Bowls, World Series, and other major sporting events. Notably, his work has earned him numerous accolades, including the Kansas Association Broadcasting Award for Program of the Year in 2020, recognizing his impactful show on the death of George Floyd. Mr. Smith's journey is a testament of his hard work, dedication, and passion. And it is also another example of how far you can go with the Lincoln education as your foundation. Please join me in welcoming Darren Smith.
First of all, good morning. I don't even know how I can follow that, but I'm going to try. It's good to be back home, so let me So I want to say first, good morning, and thank you for inviting me to speak at Lincoln University's 2024 New Student Convocation. To the Lincoln University Board of Curators, the president, the curators themselves, the president, members of his cabinet, I'm honored to be here today, but I want to give special recognition to Vice President Dr. Stevie Lawrence, who I got a chance to interview during the Super Bowl, my guy Carlos Graham, Coach Tim Abney, the athletic director, if he's here somewhere, I want to make sure I say hello to him. Dr. Adrian Hendricks, Misty Nunn, and most importantly, my fellow Lincolnites. I'm blessed and humbled to share this very special time with you. What I'm going to say to you is pretty much I got 2 bits of advice for you, but it's also a love letter back to Lincoln University. I'll be honest, it never dawned on me that I would one day at this moment be standing before students welcoming you all to Lincoln University. When I asked a couple of folks back home for some advice, I literally got 2 wide-ranging perspectives. The first was Patrick Mahomes, who told me, don't F this up. And then the other was from Harrison Butker, who told me to don't go all Harrison Butker in my speech. So if you know, you know. But before I begin, I'd like to thank Dr. Mosley once again for thinking enough of me to invite me to speak before you all today. This week, and specifically tonight, begins the busiest 6 months of my life. So if you see me rush out here, you kind of understand why. If you know a small team in Kansas City called the Chiefs, I got work I got to do for this evening. But again, I do have 2 bits of advice for you while you create your life here at Lincoln. The first being is to build relationships, and the second is to show up. That was advice given to me during my sophomore year from Dr. President Henson at the time, who was the 17th president. Keep these two things in mind. We'll revisit that in just a moment. Before today, I didn't accept the invitation right away for a few reasons, but after some prayer, counsel, and moving some things around, I knew what an honor it would be to share with you what your experiences should be while you're here at Lincoln, and to let you know that if you don't take advantage of what is here, you'll have no one to blame but yourself. Now, I remember as though it was yesterday and 120 pounds lighter when my mother and our church minister drove me down I-70 East to drop me off at Martin Hall to begin my college career. Now, the moment they left and I was alone, I'm sitting in my room, I start crying. Now, it wasn't for any of those, oh, my mama's gone, what am I going to do? It was literally for the fact that I'm grown. Now I got responsibilities that I got to handle myself, and I ain't got nobody to call on but myself. So when I came to Lincoln, I was the person my mom had already raised me to be, but it was here at Lincoln that I became the man that I was always supposed to be, and what I accomplished during my time while I was here. If you're like me when you first got here, you didn't know what to expect when you arrived, how the people were going to treat you, if the teachers or your professors were as smart as you hope they are, the social life on campus and in Jefferson City. Being in Jeff City, if you're from a big town, if you're from a big city, you just don't know how that's going to work out for you. But as I wonder aloud what I would say to you, to Lincoln University, I got emotional and choked up when I walked in the president's office, when I came on campus and saw a lot of the remodeling and changes and stuff. And it was literally when I walked in the president's office and I got a chance to see his administrative assistant, Roseanne Ortmeyer, who, when I was here as a student, I worked at the president's office, and she was like a mother to me. So when I say that Lincoln University is a place where you can develop relationships, trust me when I tell you, it's true. Only a few people know this, but I was initially scheduled to attend Howard University when I graduated from high school, but fate and the U.S. Justice Department had other ideas at that time. Because of situations happening at home and at church, I decided to attend Lincoln, and in case I needed to get home quickly, in case of emergency, Lincoln was right down the road. But I can tell you this, it was the best decision that I had ever made. Lincoln University and its faculty and staff saved me when I didn't know I needed saving. During your time here, I'm praying that you get a chance to have the type of professional relationships with the faculty and staff as I had. For those of you all who reside on campus in the dorms, whether it's in Martin, Dawson, Perry, or even Honors Hall, and trust me, when I was a student, I knew them all well, especially Dawson Hall. So you gentlemen, might not do it because I think they're renovating for specific reasons. But be sure that you get involved in activities with the RAs when they come up with it. I can tell you that if you support them, when you have activities, they'll turn around and support you as well. Time permitting, please be sure that you get a chance to get involved in the Student Government Association or the Campus Activity Board. You'll learn the early ins and outs of politics on a college level, especially if you want to go in that field later in life, or if you desire to one day sit on the Board of Curators as a student rep. But while you're here, please take advantage of everything that Lincoln has to offer. Attend the football games, attend the basketball games, attend events that's going to be held at the Union, and attend the soccer games, the softball, baseball games, tennis, and without a doubt, I don't know if he's in there, but make sure you get a chance, if they have competition here, the university finest track and field team in the nation under Coach Poppy Victor Thomas. I don't know if he's here, but that's my guy. Get involved with things on organizations on campus. If you like to write, get involved with the student newspaper, the Lincoln Clarion. If you're interested in music, one of my first jobs here was the DJ up at KJLU. I think it's still 88.9 FM. But when I was there, I kind of tried to change the format. They got on me very quickly about that. I remember my first job, though, as a freshman, was working in the photo lab that was over here in Mitchell. And Sam Sneeders was my photojournalist professor. And I think he's still here, which means I'm dating myself very badly right now because I'm showing my age. But he taught us the ins and outs of photography, especially black and white photography. And during that time, we had to purchase our own equipment. They didn't just hand it. I don't know what it is now. We had to actually go out and buy this stuff. So my mom wasn't happy about that. But I got a chance to spend countless hours late into the midnight hour, running around campus snapping photos, trying to convince pretty young women, hey, come get in front of my camera, so, my camera. And so I take those pictures, run down to Mitchell Hall, spend all evening developing photos and giving it back to us. So trust me when I say pick up lines like that back in those days worked. Whether you live on campus or not, hopefully you will find time to visit the student union, support and purchase things out of the bookstore, and eat some of that good food in the cafeteria. For me as a student, it made life that much easier. And if you're shy, I can tell you this is the place that will help you come out of your shell and help you to engage. I really, though, hope that in your free time, you'll read up on the history of Lincoln University and the 62nd and 65th Colored Infantry men that combined their money to start the little college on the hill. When you do, hopefully you'll be like me and you'll fall in love with your decision to come here once again. It is my hope that in building relationships that each of you all will find people such as Sam Sneeders or Dr. Nathan Cook, folks who took interest in me and my photography that helped lead me to an internship at the White House. It's my hope that you build relationships and find faculty and staff such as a Dr. David Henson, a Constance Williams, or Roseanne Ortmeyer. A Cheryl Jones, a Ken and Teresa Ferguson, a Sidney Sessoms, a Dr. Joe Simmons, a Deborah Walker, a Tim Abney, a Victor Thomas, a Carlos Graham, folks who took me underneath their wing when they didn't have to, but helped shape me into the man who stands before you today. It's also my hope that you can find and have relationships with classmates who contact you years later to come speak, such as a Misty Nunn, a Liz Morrow, a Donnell Young, or even a Dr. Mosley, who come, to come speak because they feel like you've done something in your life worth coming back to speak to young people about. In closing, I want to say this on the record, that although I don't get a chance to come back as much as I would like to due to work commitments, especially during homecoming, speaking of which, make sure that you take advantage of the activities that take place during homecoming. And those of you all, when you get to become upperclassmen, sophomores, and juniors and seniors, make sure that you utilize that time to also join the National Pan-Atlantic Council and join the fraternities and sororities that are up here. I can tell you that you will build lifelong friendships and relationships with those people when you get a chance to do that. But as I was saying, I will forever love my alma mater. Every day wasn't perfect, and I'm not going to try to convince you that it was, because it wasn't. But coming here was one of the best decisions of my life, and I promise you, if you take full advantage of everything that is offered here, you will have reflective moments and appreciate what Lincoln University has to offer. As I've said before, Lincoln and its people saved my life, and I know it saved many others like me. I mentioned earlier the best advice that I was given was my sophomore year at our convocation by our president at that time, and that was simply to show up. Showing up is literally half the battle to getting through your college days while you're here. You can't pass a course unless you show up. You were told, I know that you were told growing up that you at least get a D for showing up in class, so you might as well learn something while you're there. You can't make the band or any of the athletic teams unless you show up. You can't get or even keep a job if you don't. All right. Hell, you can't even keep a man or a woman that you're chasing after if you don't. All right. So if you show up, your time here at Lincoln will go by faster than you expect, and your lives will be more fulfilling and enriching because of it. And before you know it, you'll be standing right here giving the same speech to a new class of Lincolnites. Thank you, God bless, and go Blue Tigers.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. What a wonderful, heartfelt speech. You could truly feel his admiration and love for Lincoln University, so please give him another round of applause. With that being said, as you can see, Mr. Smith has to leave right away because I understand the Kansas City Chiefs do play tonight, so duty calls him away. All right. All right, so with that, I would like to take a moment to recognize members of the Lincoln University's Board of Curators who have joined us today. Can you please stand and be recognized? Thank you so much. Also, before we close, I'd like to thank the planning committee of today's convocation under the leadership of Dr. Watson. I don't know if he's in the building, but I certainly appreciate his leadership and those who worked to organize today's events. Additionally, thank you for the faculty and staff who have shown up today in support of the opening convocation, as well as our students. Let's give our students a round. We also certainly want to recognize both the band and the choir for their performances today. And both ensembles look as if they have both grown, so let's give another round of applause. And you all sound wonderful. Our program today will conclude with the retiring of the colors, followed by the singing of the alma mater. I am hopeful you all have learned the alma mater by now and will join us in its reverence. The words are on page 7 of your program. Please stand. Our ROTC will retire our colors at this time. This concludes our opening convocation, and thank you very much for your attendance this morning.